This is 10th of January, midsummer. So that was the black currants, that was the red currants, and the one with the net is gooseberries. I'm harvesting gooseberries. If you don't net the gooseberries, the birds will take every last one of them. The netting is both pinned to the ground, and these branches are also holding the net solidly to the ground on all four sides. If you don't do that, the birds will find puckering in between the pins and dive in under there and get the fruit out. Sort of without exception, you'll lose all your fruit again. They love gooseberries. I've sewn up these spots with string. I seriously believe that the rabbits are chewing through these holes before I sewed them up, because I've seen rabbits in here and I've chased them out. They go hysterical, and then the birds get through the holes the rabbits make. It's like a nightmare attack. There's 3 bushes here, red, a little green one which I harvested recently, and this bigger one which is red as well too. Now what I found this morning in harvesting the other side is that this one appears to be thornless, because this one here is massively thorny and is very difficult to harvest. I've got this lot, one side of that little bush. They're juicy and deep red, almost purple. Lovely. Put them in the sun. They're just lovely. They're nice to eat. They're not overly sweet. They're very different sort of fruit, but I like them very much. And just look how delicious they look in there. Lovely. No wonder the birds like them. This is how the fruit is on the inside. They're on the sides of the branches. Where am I? Along there. In there. And along in here. Really fun to pick on this one because there's no thorns. Look at that beauty. They have got hear people talking about topping and tailing them because they've got the stem and the thing at the top. You can pick them off before you eat them, but I don't bother. Nice fleshy fruit with seeds in it. It's really mild, sort of elegant sort of taste. You can make jams and all sorts of things, but served on a plate, they're just delicious. Just like that. Yummy. I can just pull off a bunch because there's no thorns on this bush. Just like that. Fantastic. So like I said, this is the 10th of January, so they're pretty much ripe here in New Zealand, where we are. They seem to stay ripe on the vine for quite a while, which is good because some things just get ripe and then fall off. This one doesn't tend to do that. And nice. I got about 2 litres from just the half of this bush. There's a few left. The birds can have those when I take the netting off. But I still have to do that bush down there, which is the spiny version. And I'm not looking forward to that because they are very spiny. I think you can see the spines there. They're long and very sharp. So I don't know how I bought spineless one. Normally it's not good to be spineless, but in this case it's fantastic. Oh my gosh, they are so fantastic. Now I'm picking the lower bush, the biggest one, and it's spiky. So let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm inside the spiky bush, and spiky it is, and there are fruit under here. When you look at it from the outside you can't see anything, but when you get underneath there are heaps of them in here. Sorry for jerking the shot around, but there's lots of them. But you've got to work really slowly and carefully, otherwise you're going to get jabbed with these spikes here. And they're all the way along. I have to say, the spiky one though is a deeper purple and nicer taste, sweeter. Yeah, I'm going with that. Get this one and show you. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Seem to be as many seeds, but it's delicious. Man, that's good. It's just on ripe. It's time I picked them. They are very good. Right, I've thrown the net back to make it easier. I'm going to pick everything. I've already got stung, prickled, whatever it is, a number of times, but I'm going to carry on. And whatever I don't get, the birds can have, and they will have. It'll take me a little while because there's lots of fruit in here, lots of scrumalicious. They're bigger than grapes almost. Look at that. And they are so good. My hand for comparison. There's a delicious combination of tartness but sweet as well. Just got started. Pretty much got this full bucket, and I pretty much got scars up and down my arms. I developed this technique with a big stick to just pull the bushes open. And you can find things like the remnants down there of some couple of good ones. But there's some left here, but I'm going to take the net off and the birds can have the rest. Lucky birds. Okay, all the gooseberries are picked. The netting's gone and the 2 lots of currants were picked 2 weeks ago. There's a few left on there, gooseberries. The birds can have them, and I'm sure they will very quickly. Now to make some jam. Got that bowl and this bowl, which is 1.2 kilos. So that's going to be about over 2 kilos, 2.5 kilos maybe. So I'm going to make jam with this 1.2 kilos. I'm topping and tailing the gooseberries for the jam. Those been topped and tailed. This is where it's happening. You've got to top and tail them. The bread knife seems easiest. The top is where the flower joined and the tail is where the stalk was to the branch. It is very slow work. Okay, I've made gooseberry jam and it looks really good. I made all these jars from about 2 kilos, and I will just taste it. It's a proper tart jam, different than strawberry in there, but quite delicious. Very good on toast. Fantastic. It's set quite nicely. Gooseberries are supposed to be quite high in pectin. I spelt it. It's quite high in pectin, so they set quite well. There's lots of recipes around for jams. You can Google those. Nothing special about this one, other than a different flavour. Very good.